Yo, what's going on, everyone? Today it is time for the NFL Week 5 predictions and picks. Last week for Week 4, we went 12-3, and on the season we are 48-13-1 with a winning percentage of 78.23%. This week for Week 5, we have two teams on a bye. We have the Lions and the Packers. And with that said, we go into the first game here. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Chicago Bears. Both of these teams are 3-1 coming into this game. Tom Brady had 5 touchdowns last week. And, this is a banged-up team for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have Chris Godwin, who's one of their best receivers, Leonard Fournette out. But even if these guys are out for this game, I still expect them to win this game. The Bears have not looked great. It's a miracle to me that they're 3-1 up to this point. The quarterback position is definitely a big question mark for me. I don't think Nick Foles is that great of a quarterback. I don't think Mitchell Trubisky is that great of a quarterback, so I don't love either of those guys. And, the Bears were really not even competitive last week versus the Colts. So with that said, we move on to the Bills and the Titans. This game probably won't even be played because of the corona outbreak in the Tennessee Titans locker room. 19 Tennessee Titans infected. Now, granted, most of those players for the Tennessee Titans aren't like big name players, but nonetheless, that's going to cause some trouble. So I just don't expect the Titans to win this game if they end up playing it. The Bills are just a better team. The Bills handled the Raiders, which is a really good team, last week, so I really expect them to win this game if it's played at all. You have the Jaguars and the Texans, and the Texans should win this game, but to me, the Texans season is basically over. There's a lot of tough games coming up on their schedule, and for the first quarter of the season, they went 0-4, so this is not great to see whatsoever. I don't love Bill O'Brien as a general manager or a head coach. I saw a very interesting stat this week that said that the Texans are spending more than any other team in the NFL this season on their roster, and they're an 0-4 team. So there's problems in Houston. But I just have them winning this game nonetheless because, they should win this game. You have the Bengals and the Ravens, and man, I'm tired of seeing the Ravens play these bad teams. We saw them play against the Chiefs, and they basically got blown out. I mean, the score was 34-20 to the Chiefs. But without the kickoff return for the Ravens, this game would have been 34-13. So, we know that they can beat the bad teams like the Bengals, but we want to see some better competition for the Ravens. Now, for the Bengals side of things, Joe Burrow looks pretty good. Obviously, this is his first year, so there's still room for improvement. But he looks really impressive in the Bengals system. I think they found their franchise quarterback. You have the Panthers and the Falcons, and to me, I think this is an upset. I think a lot of people are going to be picking the Panthers. I have the Falcons to win their first game. The Falcons, to me, are a more experienced team. It's a divisional game, and divisional games are weird. And I think the Falcons are due for a win at this point. I'm not completely sold on the Panthers or Teddy Bridgewater. The Panthers have won their last 2 games against really young Chargers and Cardinals teams. So I just really like the Falcons in this game. I think the Falcons and Panthers will end up splitting the series, but this one is in Atlanta, so I like the Falcons to win it here. You have the Raiders and the Chiefs, and I like the Chiefs. You can't pick against the Chiefs right now. They wiped the floor with the Baltimore Ravens, like I mentioned before, who were supposed to be the toughest competition in the AFC, and they're just firing on all cylinders. To me, the question is, can the Raiders get into the playoffs this year? They are a strong 2-2 team, but they still have to face the Buccaneers, the Browns, the Chiefs, again, the Colts, and the Chargers twice, who are a sneaky team. So we'll see about that. I really do like the Raiders team, but I definitely have to go with the Chiefs in this one at home. You have the Cardinals and the Jets. The Cardinals are a young team. Kyler Murray is going to make some mistakes, but they are sure as hell good enough to beat one of the worst teams in the NFL history to me. The Jets average point differential this season between them and their opponents is 17 points. The Jets are obviously in contention to get the number 1 overall pick this year. I really like their chances at that as well. So maybe they go after Trevor Lawrence and let go of Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold isn't so much the issue. He hasn't shown much, but I think Adam Gase is more the issue, and I think they let go of their head coach within the following weeks. The next game here, we have the Eagles and the Steelers, and the Eagles are leading the NFC East right now at 1-2-1 in Week 4, which is just mind-boggling. You can't trust them with my pick, though. Carson Wentz, to me, just doesn't have good protection or anyone to throw to. I didn't love the the play calling from Doug Peterson last week. Steelers defense is really good. The Steelers team is kind of firing on all cylinders at the moment. I believe they have the most sacks in the NFL. Through 4 weeks, they have 15 sacks, which is just remarkable. So I really like the Steelers here. I think this is a low-key, maybe not Super Bowl contender right now, but definitely a playoff contender, and they're going to give the Ravens trouble in that division. You have the Rams and the Washington football team, and to me, Sean McVay is still a very good coach. The Rams could easily be 4-0 up to this point if it weren't for that one call at the end of the Bills game. And as long as Dwayne Haskins is starting for this game for the Washington football team, I can't pick them to win this game. In Dwayne Haskins' 13-game career, he has 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 10 fumbles. So in this league, that's not going to cut it. The quarterback play is just too good right now. So as long as, like I said, Dwayne Haskins is starting, you just can't pick the Washington football team. And the Rams are just a really well-coached team, so I like them a lot. Next game here, we have the Dolphins at the 49ers, and to me, this is another team that's more well-coached. I like the 49ers coaching system. I think they have more incentives to win because they still have a chance to make the playoffs. I know a lot of their starters are banged up, but they're still able to squeeze out some wins here, the 49ers. So I'm not sure if Jimmy Garoppolo is returning for this game, but either way, I have them winning this game. This is a team that went to the Super Bowl last year, and I think a lot of people forget about that. But one thing you have to take note of is that the Dolphins this season usually stay pretty competitive in their matchups. The next game here, we have the Giants and the Cowboys, and Daniel Jones, the quarterback of the Giants, hasn't scored a touchdown in the last 3 games. The Giants are averaging 12 points a game this season, while the Cowboys are averaging 30 points a game this season. The Cowboys are coming off of 2 tough losses to the Seattle Seahawks and to the Cleveland Browns, and I think they really want to win this game. To me, really, I've never been so confident in a pick. I just don't see how the Giants could win this. But with that said, the Cowboys gave up 307 rushing yards last week to the Browns. So, I mean, if the Giants had Saquon Barkley here in this game, then maybe this would be a different story. But I have to go with the Cowboys at home. You have the Denver Broncos at the New England Patriots, and I'm not sure if Cam Newton will be starting for this game. I'm not sure if he's still going to have the coronavirus. We'll see about that. But nonetheless, I'll take the Brian Hoyer-led Patriots, if that is the case, over this Denver Broncos team. Another case of just an incredibly well-coached team in the Patriots. I got to give a reminder that the Patriots had 9 players opt out before the 2020 season. So the Patriots can handle adversity. They do very well even when some of their star players are missing. So give me the Patriots to win that game at home. You have the Colts and the Browns. Both of these teams are coming into the game at 3-1. Both had bad week 1 losses, but have bounced back tremendously. I like what I've seen from the Colts and the Browns in recent weeks. This is probably the toughest game to pick this week, but I went with the Colts to win this game. It's the more experienced team. I like Phillip Rivers more than I do Baker Mayfield. I'm not a huge fan of Baker Mayfield personally. I know he played a pretty good game last week, but nonetheless, I think that one of the strong suits of the Browns defense is their defensive line, but the Colts have an incredible offensive line, and I think they'll give protection to Phillip Rivers, who's going to be able to throw all over this Browns secondary. So that's my prediction for this game. I have it going to the Colts in Cleveland. You have the Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks, and the Vikings won their game last week versus the Texans. They showed some nice things, but nonetheless, I have to go with the Russell Wilson-led Seahawks. Russell Wilson, to me, is still the best player in the NFL as of right now through 4 weeks into the season. He's thrown like 16 touchdowns in 4 weeks, which is just incredible, and I just can't pick against him. I mean, the Seahawks have their problems, but with Russell Wilson at the helm, I just can't pick against the Seahawks, especially against this Vikings team. So give me the Seahawks to win this one at home. And then for the final game, we have the Chargers at the Saints. And, I think this one's going to be a close one because the Chargers always make it close. It's going to be interesting because Justin Herbert will probably be starting this game. He started 3 games in a row but lost all 3. But it's not to his fault. He's played phenomenally. The Saints, they're just a better team to me, though, especially at home. I think Alvin Kamara is going to run all over this Chargers defense, which is not a bad defense, but the Chargers are just too banged up right now to beat or compete with the Saints team, in my opinion. The Saints, they do look really good right now. I think Michael Thomas will be back for this game, and I expect a high-scoring game here, but I have the Saints winning this one in New Orleans. So with that said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.